so they had to test the cement. And I was watching, and I would go and I would sit out there and watch them as they were building. And I would get happy because after the cement had dried, I already knew what it was that I was getting. And so I began to see a house being built from the ground up. And after the cement had dried, I began to see the framework get put up. Oh, y'all don't know what that meant to me, because now, after I had put my deposit down, after I had paid and waited, now I got to see the framework of a house being built. And I would sit there and I would say, ooh, that's going to be the den right there. And I would sit there and say, ooh, that's going to be the other room right there. Now, I don't know anything about construction. I don't know anything about reading blueprints. I don't know anything about any of that. I can't understand it. I don't know anything about it. But I had an expectation and I had a hope, because I had a framework of what was being done. And so after the cement has been tested, it's found to be, the framework is to be laid, now it's time to begin to build. And so as I would sit there and I would watch them, I would hear the nails been driven into the wood. I would hear the screws been driven into the wood. I would see, I would wonder, and just it just amazed me as to how these guys got the work done so quickly. It was them working whether it was hot. They were working whether it was cold. They were working whether it was nighttime. They were working early morning. They worked weekends. They worked holidays. What am I trying to tell you? They worked even when nobody was out there. They were doing the work that they were doing whether I was sitting out there watching them or not. They were doing the work. But I would leave and come back and say, man, that wasn't there on yesterday. That wasn't there the day before, because they were working while nobody else was watching. Somebody here today, you need to know that you've got to work while nobody else is watching. Stop wanting a pat on the back. Stop wanting to have your name called. Stop wanting to be in the program. Stop wanting to be on the church's roll. Do what you do because God is getting pleased with your work, and you've got to work while nobody is watching you. I get more work done, it seems like, when nobody else is around. It's hard for me to work when my kids are running around the house. It's hard for me to work when my wife wants to go to Disneyland every day. It's hard for me to work when I'm getting calls from Pastor Jefferson. Ricky, I need you to do this. And Ricky, I need you to do that. Sometimes I've just got to put my phone off and turn the TV off and lock the door, send the kids to school, send her off to Disneyland to get something to eat, and say, Lord, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Lord, it's not my mama, it's not my daddy, it's not my wife, it's not my kids, it's not my friends, it's not the preacher, it's not the church, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And God, I need you right now. God, I need to hear a word from you, and I've got to get by myself, and I've got to work when nobody else is watching me, because I know that God is watching me. And so you say to me, preacher, I hear